Today I'm stripping down my track bike frame and getting all the parts off, and I'm going to be reusing a lot of the parts, including the orange rims. For a while I wasn't sure if I was going to be reusing the orange rims or not, since I wasn't totally sure about the color, but I found a frame that I think will suit the orange rims very well, and it is the Mercier Kylo TT stripper in the Black Magic color. And basically what it is, it's got similar geometry to this frame. It's Reynolds 520 alloy, and it's black with paint chips in it, and the paint chips are a rainbow color, so it'll be like black with rainbow chips and orange rims. And then the rest of the stuff, I'm probably going to reuse a lot of stuff. This, I'm not totally crazy about the blue, but the blue's totally fine. It's got a little bit of wear just on the corners, but other than that, it's fine. I'm going to be trying to reduce the orange, so I have the orange grips, and I might replace those with black ones, although I have to say, these Ori grips, I've had these since I got the bike in 2010, and it doesn't look like they've worn very much at all. So I've been riding this a lot for 4 years straight, and look at the wear. I mean, they're hardly even worn. So you can get these for like $15, and they last a long time. I've had lots of mountain bike grips that don't last nearly as long and were more expensive. So I like this bar, and so I'm probably going to keep it. I like a flat bar. Drop bars, I'm not really a big fan of drop bars because they kind of are a little bit more bulky when you're turning and stuff. So I kind of prefer the straight bar. The headset is Cane Creek SC1. It still works fine, so I'll probably reuse it. The stem is an Uno Ultralight, although the paint is wearing off because I was holding it like this when I walk with it. And then the orange rims, these have also held out really, really well. The Velocity Deep V's, these are nice, and I mean, I'm sure they're not light, compared to all other track rims, but they're certainly lighter than, like B43s or something like that. I had a pair of B43s actually, and I sold them because they just weighed the bike down. It made it feel a lot heavier, and it just was harder to get accelerating fast. So these B43s are great, and they feel pretty light, and they're still very true. Even the front one's very true. It's got a couple of dents in it that are small dents, even though they were pretty hard, harsh hits. And the roads are terrible around here, but they're really sturdy, and they really held out well. So great things to say about these. The color, wasn't totally crazy about it, but I think it's going to work great with this frame color. So I'm just going to keep those. The bottom bracket is kind of a cheap bottom bracket with a plastic thing that holds it into the bottom bracket, and that's cracked. And I'm actually seeing right here, oh, that's a hair. Okay, I thought it was the bottom bracket itself was cracked. It's not. But that plastic thing is cracked, although I think I can just replace that with an aluminum one. But I went to a store to try to replace that with an aluminum one before, and they didn't have one. But maybe another store will. Or maybe I'll just get a whole different bottom bracket, because I would like to improve the drivetrain a little bit. I'm going to keep the cranks though, and the sprocket and everything. I like all that stuff. One of the things I was thinking about doing was getting a flip-flop hub with a single speed on the other side, but that was only when I was thinking about buying a whole new bike. So I'm probably not going to bother getting a new hub and then getting the tire rebuilt. And then these tires are Continental Ultra Sport. 23C on both front and back. When I first got the bike, it had a 25C at the back and a 23 at the front, and they were I forget what brand they were, but those double multicolored ones with, it had blue on the outside actually, and then black on the walls on the inside and the middle. These tires I got last year, and they're still fine. Even that little seam in the middle is still almost visible. And then the brakes, Tektro R39, 358. And then the front one is RL530 or something. It's worn out, so I can't quite see. The brake still works fine, but I would like to shorten this cable and just make it so that it goes more straight down towards here without hitting the bar, because I like to hold the bar here, and then when I do that, this gets in the way and it's annoying. So I'd like to shorten up the cable, and maybe I'll change the cable to a black, but maybe this color will be a nice little bit of contrast with the frame, so I might just keep it but shorten it. And the chain is still fine. It's a CAM-C, thick, reinforced, whatever you call it, for single speeds, and it's still fine, although there's a lot of grease on it. I'd like to clean it up with Varsol or something and get that cleaned up. And then pedals are MKS Sylvan, made in Japan, and these are great pedals, although the only thing that's happened with them is this front piece here is bent, so that this little notch here that you use to flip the pedal up is a little farther back than it should be when it's new, so it's a little bit harder to flip the pedal up and get your foot in. But other than that, they're fine. The bearings and everything are still fine. And I got this maybe halfway through the life of the bike, so it's a couple years old now. And then these are Soma steel cages. These came with the bike and they're still fine. I did have leather straps, but one of them broke, and so I just threw these on for temporary. They're like nylon straps, but they've actually been working fine for a while now. Although I might replace the leather straps because those are nicer. And then the back is a Shimano 16 tooth, and I think this is a 48 tooth, although it might be a 46, I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's it. I have a box of stuff that I'm putting all the bike stuff here. I have a couple of extra seats just from a box of stuff. This is from an old mountain bike. This is a Shimano XCR seat. I kind of like the logo stuff. It's actually, it's not just printed on it, it's actually woven in. So that's kind of neat. I like that. And then this was the seat post that came with the bike that was too small for this frame. It's a 26.4, I believe. And this one's like a 27.2 or something like that. So this, what actually happened with the frame, and this is why I'm replacing it, is that it cracked because the seat post was too small. And I didn't replace it on time. But the new bike is a 26.4 or 26.2 or something. So this post should fit in the new bike. And I might reuse it. I mean, it's not that nice, but I might reuse it temporarily. And so most of the stuff's going to be reused on the new bike, and it should look way better. I think black with the orange is going to look better, and especially the black with the colored chips in it. So yeah, that's what happened. This frame's cracked, and I've been sort of sick of the color scheme for a while now. I've been sort of sick of this frame for a while now, so I'm not upset. I'm actually happy to be building a new bike. So obviously I'll have some pictures and some video when the new frame comes. I just ordered it earlier today. And that's all for now.